Hey everyone, and welcome back to The Explainer. Look, if you're a university student, or maybe you just recently graduated, you're definitely going to want to listen up for this one. Because your 20s, they are hands down the most absolutely crucial decade of your financial life. The financial decisions you're making right now, in these really early years, they're either going to silently build this amazing empire of wealth for you, or they're going to create a literal mountain of stress that follows you around for decades. And obviously today, we are going to make sure it's the first one. We've taken all the best advice and distilled it into an ultimate financial architecture blueprint, specifically designed as an action plan for your very first year out of school. Let's dive in. So, what do you think is the most common financial mistake people make in their 20s? Think about your friends or, maybe even your own habits. We've actually identified 15 massive financial pitfalls that young adults tend to fall into. But we aren't just going to sit here and read off a list of things not to do. Instead, we've transformed these pitfalls into a really empowering, immediate first-year checklist for you. Basically, we are learning from the super expensive mistakes of others so you can save thousands of dollars right out of the gate. Okay, here's the game plan for this explainer. We've broken down your first-year action plan into 4 phases: cash flow, the safety net, mindset upgrades, and the long game, all culminating in how you can start building wealth right now. Let's kick things right off with phase 1, cash flow. This is all about building that ground-level foundation. Cash flow really is the absolute foundation of your financial architecture. I mean, before you try to build a skyscraper, you have to know exactly what's happening on the ground level, right? For recent grads stepping into those very first real paychecks, it's totally about your daily habits and ruthlessly controlling where your money goes before it simply vanishes into the ether of late-night pizza deliveries. A huge mistake in your 20s is honestly just having zero clue where your cash is going. But remember, a budget doesn't restrict your freedom. It actually gives you control. So here's the specific move. Track your daily expenses. Download a free app or honestly just grab a notebook and log every single coffee, every streaming subscription, every takeout meal for exactly 30 days. Once you do that, write down your monthly income, subtract your fixed costs like rent, and then give every single remaining dollar a specific job. And this brings us to a huge trap, the illusion of wealth. We see it everywhere, don't we? Young adults racking up huge credit card balances, taking out personal loans, and using buy now, pay later schemes just to maintain a lifestyle they simply cannot afford yet. That's just looking wealthy. But actually being wealthy, that means living below your means. It's intentionally creating a gap between what you earn and what you spend, which gives you the actual room to save your money. So let's lock in your phase 1 checklist. First, build that basic budget we just talked about. Second, live below your means. Third, you've got to stop making emotional purchases. Try instituting a strict 24-hour rule before buying anything non-essential just to see if you actually still want it the next day. And finally, use credit responsibly. Never, ever carry a balance from month to month because those high-interest charges will literally paralyze your financial progress. Cross these off and you have officially mastered your cash flow. Moving right along to phase 2, the safety net. It's time to protect what you're building. Once you've got your cash flow organized, you absolutely must protect it because, well, life is incredibly unpredictable. 3 to 6. I want you to memorize those numbers. That is the number of months of essential living expenses you need parked away in an emergency fund. Your first year out of university is exactly when you need to be building a fortress around your finances. Without it, one sudden car repair or an unexpected job loss sends you straight back into toxic debt. So calculate your bare minimum monthly expenses and multiply it by 3 to 6. That right there is your very first major savings target. Now, a really huge vulnerability people ignore is depending solely on a single paycheck. Think about it. If your employer lets you go, your income plummets to 0 instantly. It's super high risk. The safer strategy? Multiple streams of income. Since you're just out of school, start thinking about how you can monetize the skills you already have. Can you take on freelance work, maybe do some tutoring, start a small side hustle? Building up multiple income streams right alongside your emergency fund makes your safety net practically unbreakable. All right, on to phase 3, mindset upgrades. This is where we dial in your mental discipline. You can have the absolute best spreadsheets in the entire world, but wealth building ultimately comes down to your psychology. The biggest roadblocks in your 20s are usually just in your head, and one of the absolute greatest destroyers of young wealth is trying to impress other people. You see your peers buying expensive clothes, taking these luxurious vacations just for social media approval. But real wealth, it's kind of invisible. It's the money sitting quietly in your investment accounts, and it's the freedom of having 0 debt. Once you stop seeking that external approval, you'll actually watch your bank account grow. And speaking of impressing people, the single biggest trap for new grads? Buying a car you cannot actually afford. Financing a flashy vehicle will just consume a massive portion of your hard-earned monthly income. So focus on affordability and reliability, not status. Buy a reliable, used car and take the hundreds of dollars you save every month on payments and insurance and invest it, because that is how wealthy people actually behave. Okay, let's run through your mindset checklist. First up, stop seeking approval. Just drop it. Next, set highly specific financial goals. Don't just say, I want to save. Say, I want to be student debt-free by 25. Without a target, your money just drifts away. Third, ignore unqualified advice. Please don't take money tips from friends who are chronically broke. And finally, pursue your own financial education. Schools rarely teach this stuff, so read the books, watch explainers like this one, and take charge of your own knowledge. Which brings us to phase 4, the long game. Time to start investing. This is where we have to tackle the most dangerous illusion young adults face. It's that quiet little voice in your head that says, hey, I have plenty of time. I'll worry about investing later. You absolutely cannot wait. Compound growth is this incredibly powerful tool where your early investments grow exponentially over time. Time is, quite literally, your greatest asset right now. If you postpone investing because you think it's only for people who are already rich, or you think you have decades to figure it all out, you are basically just giving away free money. To put this into perspective, it is mathematically proven that a small amount invested early, like right now in your 20s, will almost always completely outperform much larger investments started later in your 30s or 40s. Ignoring your retirement planning right now is an incredibly expensive mistake. Don't wait until you're making some huge salary. Even if you can only invest a tiny fraction of your current income, you need to start today. The compounding effect of those early dollars is just staggering. So, to counter that whole I'll start later mentality, I want you to follow these 4 steps. Step 1, save by building up that 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Step 2, invest early so your money can actually start compounding in the market. Step 3, learn continuously to keep upgrading your financial literacy. And step 4, stay disciplined. Stick to that budget you made, avoid those emotional purchases, and keep playing the long game. Okay, bringing it all together, start building wealth now. If you are in your early 20s right now, remember that this decade is not about achieving immediate perfection. You're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. It's really about building foundational habits. Your future self will absolutely thank you for the decisions you're making today. Choosing to track your daily expenses, choosing a reliable car over a flashy one, choosing to invest $50 instead of just blowing it on a Friday night. These choices might seem incredibly small in the moment, but over time, they will dramatically transform your financial reality. So, I'll leave you with this. What small financial decision will you make today? Will you download a budgeting app right now? Will you go set up an automatic transfer into your savings account? Don't wait for tomorrow. Take just one piece of this first-year action plan and apply it today. Remember, your empire starts with a single brick. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep building.